Amy and Stephan have shared their breaths and heartbeats, embracing in life and play of adventures to the fullest. They share their love and their healing modalities with the world, and they're ceremony leaders, healers, educators, and so much more. They run, they operate the Gratitude Sanctuary in Vista, California, where they believe that the healing powers of breath is amplified in a group. And so tonight, let's unite through our breath and our heart as we welcome our honored guests, Amy and Stephan. Stephan, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the Mindshare.
Welcome.
We are so pleased to have you here tonight. And
Sorry.
we met Amy and Stephan at the first retreat in July, and I was wondering if you could just, for the people who weren't there, if you could just walk us through um, the gratitude breath ceremony that you performed at the retreat, and a little bit of your experience with that.
Okay. Well, first of all, we are from the Gratitude Sanctuary in Vista, California, right here. And our sanctuary here, basically, we hold a breath ceremony every Tuesday night. We also hold workshops and aesthetic dance events over here as well. And we were very grateful that we had an opportunity to share our breath ceremony that day at Spectrum, in the festival. So in terms of to share the experience right there, what we can do actually, should we recap the experience?
Sure.
There?
Yeah, give us a overview of your experience and what you felt about it after, because I know you stayed with us the whole weekend, which we loved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was an amazing group of people that decided to breathe with us. We found ourselves under a tree with a group of around it's hard to estimate. I would say in between 30 and 40. It's hard to estimate. And yeah, it's amazing to do the breath work in that setting. We set up the altar, and when we do the breath work, we approach it in a ceremonial way. So we take people through the directions of the medicine wheel, and it is a 40-minute breath technique where it's being supported by music, and it's always very interesting. It's for us always how to say that, a surprise, like how people would experience it. And as far as the feedback that we got, it was a great experience. I enjoyed it myself a lot. It was a wonderful opportunity to hold the space, and we have seen people break out in tears from releasing. We have seen people break out in tears from laughter. Yeah, it's been a blast. It was an most amazing experience, and it's always very nice to see the faces of the people. You can actually see it in their energetic field, but also in their body. You can clearly tell from their faces after the breath, and yeah, it was such an intimate connection to breathe in the circle. Yeah,
awesome.
So beautiful. And I mean, people are reaching these euphoric, almost blissful states through breath work, right? And you're finding that you're teaching an organic way that we can use the air and the prana around us, and an organized and intentional effort as a group to release and to experience a high level of source energy, right? Where how would you explain it in your words?
Yeah. Well, what our slogan of the Gratitude Sanctuary is you are the medicine, and this is what we really would love to have people tap into with the breathing, because there is many healing modalities, and it's very easy to also get caught up in the too analytical, almost the mental masturbation, or on how it goes, or to always feel that one has to rely on a substance to get to those states. And yeah, it's really the breath, just the breath. And yeah, like you said, it's being amplified within a ceremony and with others. So that is most amazing. Yeah. And we do work with to enhance the experience. Most of the time, we had the opportunity also at the festival to enhance the experience with Sananga, because a lot of times when we experience a pain or a trauma on whatever degree, and I would actually have to explain what Sananga is, but it's just very briefly, Sananga is an eye drop that really burns, and it has a lot of healing properties on all the bodies. But what it does to the physical body, it's pain. And we have a tendency to stop breathing whenever we feel pain. Can be trauma on the scale of a door that slams when we get scared, or any experience that we feel uncomfortable. And the Sananga is really a nice gateway also to keep breathing through the uncomfortableness. And that is what it is with the breathing. You say, like, people reach states of bliss, and this is really what happened during the festival. It was a really blissful experience, but it always gives you what you need. So it can be like a really somatic, just an embodied experience. It can be anything. But on the festival, we definitely took off. That was like we were on a spaceship.
Yeah, everyone that was involved looked like they were on a spaceship when they were done. It was awesome to see. It was like really magical. And I mean, the energy that you two bring is just so powerful and so intentional. So we were so honored to have you both there, and and everybody else was as well.
Definitely.
I noticed too that you were using a lot of instruments during the ceremony as well too. And is there a certain instrumentation that you use and a certain type of breath work that you kind of do for each ceremony, or is it kind of free flowy, like you said? Does it kind of depend on the space and the people and the area, right?
Yeah, I would love to share on that, and then you can like say what your perspective is on that also. But what we always use as in a way to enter the ceremony, we call upon the directions and we use the drum for it. It's like the most primordial. It is to really get in touch with our heartbeat. And since it's so repetitive, it gets right into the trance state. And during the ceremony, we use singing bowls. We use our voices, like Icaros, as for medicine songs that we sing or whistle. And when we do it, because we facilitate the breathwork every Tuesdays, we also have a friend coming in, and people will remember him from the festival. It's Max Murray, and his artist name is Surrender. He also did a rapping performance.
Yeah,
great
Max.
Yeah, amazing man, and a sound healer. So, and yeah, you already called it. It's free flow. It's never the same. But we got a wonderful few instruments, like an ocean drum, the rattles. We work with different scents, with essential oils, all that type of thing. And it's really what is required. What we feel is required in the moment. So we truly open ourselves to become a vessel for the divine. And sometimes it's just that you just intuitively feel that a person can use some energy work on the body, or a massage, these type of things. And we cannot bring all the instruments, that would be too much, but like from here there's a beautiful Chinese harp as well. So yeah, we got quite a few tools. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Mm. Um, yeah, sound healing, it blends with the breath. What we know breath basically is really the medicine to bring us to the present. And yet it is a portal for us to reach different planes of consciousness also. I mean, if you say that, well, we say you are the medicine, basically you are really the medicine. You can get as high as you want as any other plant medicine out there, just through your breath. So with the experience, sharing my personal experience of holding, ceremony with Stephan is everyone come in for the ceremony always have intention for healing. And during the ceremony, the breath is going to show you where it needs to be healed. You may feel tension or pain in your body, or sometimes just emotional that needs to be purged. And sometimes people just have tears. It's part of the purification. They don't even know, and they don't need to know the reason for it.
Yeah.
And it is it's just a blessing to be able to hold a space for them. And for that, for me to view them and just to hold a space as if it is truly a rebirthing experience. To say in another way, it is they're going through conscious death, basically. They're breathing into this energy and yet rebirthing themselves through the breath. And it's really, really powerful. And most of them, they come out, we say, wow, I have never expected breath can take us so far. And from that time on, then we know that people know that how prana works, and sound basically it penetrates into every cellular level in our body. And as much as we know that we are really all connected. So when people come in for a group ceremony like this, as a group, it amplifies to really the true collective healing of our planet at the same time. It's very, very powerful from a personal level.
All the frequencies and vibrations and intention guided together. I love that.
Yes. So we're very grateful to have that experience, whoever that have come to participate with us. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you two are so powerful. I'm so curious, what your journey into doing this work, did you have, have you had certifications? Have you gone on some sort of any life-changing journeys? What would you like to share about your journey into this type of work? It's a very broad question, but yeah.
How did it start, right? Well,
yeah,
you go first.
yeah. There, it's around 5 years ago that I had Kundalini awakening experience, and my healing journey was not as much as it is I see Russell tuning in. That's great. Yeah, Russell that comes and breathe with us quite often.
He said your breath ceremony is very powerful, he says.
Yeah. So I had a very like a Kundalini awakening experience that was very grateful for it. That was with ayahuasca at the time, and I wasn't like in a bliss state for a couple of months to really feel what is our ability and in what states can we be. But actually, the shedding started from there on, and there had been a time that I felt really anxious, and then I got introduced to it goes by many names, but I would say it's holotropic breathing. That's what most people would recognize it by. And that started in Rotterdam by a great man, Hank Abel. Thank you so much. And I went there on the weekly basis every Tuesdays. And it came to a point that I felt like, well, I want to have more people like get get to know this type of breathing and how powerful it is. And briefly after my awakening experience, I met my wonderful wife, Amy, and from there on, our paths start coming together, and we both had very different backgrounds with different healing modalities. But she had uh, been into breathing through Kundalini Yoga a lot. So maybe you can share a little bit of that, and then from there on, we started like integrating both of our paths and make it our own modality that we can offer that we feel has been most beneficial for both of us. So yeah.
Yeah. I think the first time that I was aware with breath was through pain. That I would have to breathe through pain. I have been sick. I had been sick since I was a child. As much as I remember, I think, 8, 9. Then I remember that with pain in your body, the only way you can go through is, even during the sleep, is, you know, breathe it through, right? Breathe it through. And that is the way how I found out, wow, breath can actually
So powerful.
alleviate and can be the medicine for, your own body. So powerful. So as much as throughout the years, many things happen in my body, and that's how I learned how to work on a lot of many levels on physical healing as well. And Kundalini Yoga, basically, always been fascinated for it. So finally, I got my teacher's training years ago and have been practicing, in a more systemic way. And it's been life changing for me, the breath. Yeah. So I hope that maybe perhaps we can, help to enlighten some by some breath exercise today. If Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, we would love any sample of your amazing work, and it's amazing. It heals yourself, and you've healed so many too, and so many people to continue to heal, and that's why it's so magical being aligned with you anytime. The both of you together, your masculine and feminine energy, just it complements itself so well, and it's so clear the connection that you both share, and how powerful that comes together when you when we bring our energies together, like the way you two do. So it's
I know,
really
I
cool.
love it. It's like when I'm even just talking to them, I feel like I'm watching myself and making sure I'm focusing on my breathing. Like, okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm like, okay, I'm breathing. But it's like it just, talking to all these healers and such passionate ones as yourself and strong ones, it helps. Just a good reminder, like, oh yeah, I need to keep, it's a good reminder to always, the breath is huge, right? And I appreciate that very much. I think it's a big part of everyone's life if they know it or don't. But if you're in control of it, wow, what a difference it's made in my life as well. So I look forward to taking more courses from you guys and getting deeper into it.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, it's so. Oh, go ahead, please.
I've heard many gurus actually have practiced the breath in a way that even though they climb up all the way really high mountains, the breath is still very slow and almost like really shallow, very light, you know. So to the way that if we can actually be so consciously breathing and yet breathing so light and easy, I think that's a good life, isn't it?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything should be light, and keep it light and breathe in. Even the hard parts and the chaos, we find ourselves in peace and in the midst of that chaos when we have that center and that breath, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Kundalini Yoga, I'm going to put my drum away a little bit. And one of the most powerful, well, we say why Kundalini Yoga? Because this is one of the yoga techniques that have embodied many things, body movement, we call it kriyas, mantras, which is the sound, not, and the breath itself, and meditation for the mind. So it is like really holistically complete, and that's what we call is actually a technology, instead.
Mm.
And they also call it is the cocaine of all yoga. So it is very, very powerful, very transformative. So one of the most powerful breaths that we practice is called the breath of fire. I'm sure probably some of you have heard about it. And perhaps I'll leave Mr. Fire, Mr. Fire to go.
I was just gonna say, you can tell it, right? He's like in the blue and the fire, or the water, and I'm like the fiery. Once he shares about like slow breathing monks, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I am the breath of water. Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that we met, because there is definitely a part of me that
It cools you off.
Yeah, and we are in the desert here, right? I'm from the Netherlands. I moved in a few months ago. I used to be surrounded by water. Now I need to be in proximity for that. Like, yeah.
The water.
Yeah. So yes, you already called it. It is really a fiery breath. It's called the breath of fire. It is through the nostrils only. Maybe you can time it that we just do like a minute or so, like something like that.
No, wait. I'm a very tough teacher. I said 11 minutes.
Yeah.
No, 31.
Yeah. Yeah. If you really want to let go of the mind and want to really get embodied, see is the one during Kundalini Yoga or during retreats. It is like a Kundalini boot camp. I'm not kidding. I sometimes say, have mercy on the people, what they're getting into. We maybe want to hike tomorrow. So,
Yeah, get some embodiment. Yeah, when we encourage everybody on the call, please join for the breath exercise.
Yeah, so it is good that you find your center, and this can be by just wiggling back and forth a little bit.
We're doing it now? Okay, good.
Yeah, let's do a few of those breaths. So you can just like wiggle back and forth, left and right, till you find that point that you feel like, okay, here is where I'm in the center. And then you can tuck in your chin a little bit, as if your crown is lifted towards the heavens. And then there is a slight gaze. You don't have to overdo it, but just a slight gaze with your closed eyes towards your brow point. And then the breathing is through the nostrils only. And how it goes is the focus is on the out breath. So I'm just doing the technique now, and then we can go into it. You breathe out to around like 50 to 60%. And then you start it. And you focus on the out breath through the nostrils. And as you breathe out, you do it with force. And you tuck your navel, you pull it towards your spine. So it looks like this. Maybe it's good to open the eyes so you can actually see what it looks like. Now it looks like this. Mm-hmm. So the focus is on the out breath. And once you breathe out, then the in breath is automatic. And everyone has their own rhythm. And in the beginning, it can be a little bit uncomfortable to find a rhythm, but the more you practice, you will find your own rhythm. And this is also a good technique to charge your energy. You've been working in the office or you've been sitting for a while. It's a good way to charge yourself. So also after we did this, let's say we do 33 breaths, and then you breathe into the fullest, as full as you can. And then you contract all the muscles down there. So in the pelvic area, groin area, anus, everything, you contract it, and you imagine this energy rising up on the spine or in front of the spine, and you hold the energy as you open your crown, and then you slowly, after holding it for around 10 to 15 seconds, you slowly breathe out. And that's important. That's when you do that slowly. And then down there, you contract again. And that is, and then you breathe in again to the fullest. And there you hold it again. And that is one round. So let's just do one round for today. So
Sounds magnificent.
let's do it.
All right.
All right. I will actually perhaps drum so this way we can get a little rhythm going. And I will
Yeah, give us a
time.
beat, girl.
I will.
Yeah.
And it is a very,
So we can do
forgiving
some
teacher.
tummy dances.
To me, that you get six
Yeah,
pack from doing
it is like that, right?
You will get six packs out of it. Not kidding. Yeah. And let me see this. Okay. On the contraction, the moon bun, down there is a muscle that we have. It is a connective muscle right around the between in the genital area in front of anus. There are around 2 inches around there. This is where we contract to go ahead and seal in the energy. Once we do it often enough, the yogi will say, why do you even relax and open it? Because it's a leakage of energy. So not necessary that we're going to contract it all day, but the more practice it is, the more energy that you actually can send it through your chakra system. Okay. So, you ready?
I am ready. Yeah,
All right.
We are ready.
Oh yeah,
Here we
We're
go.
ready.
Everybody ready?
go.
1,
2, let's go.
3. Inhale, hold your breath. I'm going to count to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Exhale slowly. All the way empty all the abdominal cavity and contract again. Contract your muscle down there. Hold it. And let's do one more breath up. Inhale again. Inhale a little bit more. And contract your pelvic muscle. And hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Slowly exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, return and relax.
What a difference a breath makes, right?
Wow.
Wow. Thank you.
This is the 1 minute. Sometimes we go all the way up to 33 minutes.
Wow.
And it's really a really profound breathing technique. Yeah.
Is So powerful. And even, I actually practice this one. This is the one that I do practice. And it, especially right now, like every time that I'm able to do it, it always just clears out all of the energy, clears everything out, all the delusions and the distractions and the extra thoughts and the extra energy that's in your body. Really, that's the experience that I had, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really empowering. You can really feel your energy field expanding, and it's almost like a like a bubble, like a harness that you build around. A lot of times in the Kundalini Yoga practice, you also slowly let go with your hands. But this is like when you would do a practice with us, we can go over all of that, but it would be too much of talk to go in all the technical aspects of it. But it's really a wonderful way to harness the energy. Yeah.
So another breath technique that is used in the ancient Tibetan meditation is truly, it's called, following your breath. So in Chinese, we have this word fu xi. It means exhale, inhale. That's what we call breath. So from that, we know already the exhale is actually more important than the inhale. The inhale is our survival breath, basically. That's when we were birthed, and then our first cry, and then we gasp, and then we take that in breath. And then from that time on, we forgot to exhale. The exhale is actually very important, and it's actually the most relaxing when we do that. So when we focus on the exhale, it is actually the inhale is effortless. So this breath is slow and relaxing. Um, the way how we do is we're going to bring in the energy and the breath through our abdomen. As we know, the hara is two fingers below the navel. This is where the spirit resides. And this is where we say, well, soul side, right? Our heart. So it's a good practice that we always breathe just, through the tummy. So the Chinese, in traditional Chinese medicine, we practice only on tummy breathing, not even on this part. But today we're going to go ahead and do what we call a reverse breathing. So we're going to go ahead and focus on the exhale first. We're going to go ahead and exhale all the way. So breathe in 50% and exhale all the way slowly through your nose. And automatically, when you're out of the breath, you'll bring in the breath through your abdomen. So your abdomen, and then the stomach, and then the heart right here. And feel the lungs. And then focus again on the out breath. And then in breath again through the abdomen. And then according to your rhythm, the slower the breath, the better it is. Some of my practices is actually 2 breaths a minute. So I use 15 seconds to go ahead and practice on my out breath. And then in breath, 15 seconds. And then another breath, So that will be 2 breaths a minute to go ahead really to expand and exercise these muscles to hold more with the minimum number of breaths. So that's another practice that is actually very calming, very relaxing, and you can do it anytime. The breath of fire does draw attention when you're breathing in the middle of a waiting room or something. So, yeah.
Yes, it absolutely does. And most people who don't know what you're doing get often annoyed by the breath of fire too. I feel like when they're like, "What are you doing?"
With it as well, where people like when I have my eyes closed and then people would tap on my shoulder and they ask, "Are you all right?" Like it's like he like hyperventilating, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so magical, Amy.
So
It's just, you have such, even with just the way you speak and the presence that you bring, it really helps to slow fast moving people like myself. And
Are we
that slow breath is such a practice that is so advantageous for everyone, because we are in
Yeah,
a
so
very
good for
fast
your heart health. And
paced environment all the time, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
thank you
I
for
love that.
sharing those amazing breathwork techniques, and you guys do this every Tuesday. You do this ceremony. You do the sacred gratitude breath ceremony every Tuesday
Yeah.
at the in Vista, right? At the Gratitude Sanctuary
Right.
in
And
Vista.
that is actually a different breathing technique, but that is what we do. There is um, a breath technique that will go by the name like shamanic or holotropic. I've heard many names for it, but it comes down to this: it is a active in breath, which is like the pump of a fountain that pumps the water, and then it's a passive fall down. So, and we usually start by making a straw with the lips, because not everyone knows how to breathe into their belly. It is like a wave. And to get to breathe through the belly, it can be really beneficial to make a straw with the lips. So you fill it like a vase as you try it, like, and then all the way to the collarbones. And then it's just like you just let it fall, just not slipping out, but it's just a fall.
Mm.
And then eventually we do this laying down, and eventually you can just let your jaw relax, and it becomes a wave, which I would say the in breath is the courage and the out breath is the compassion. Now in the beginning, because the mind know it's going to lose from the experience, the mind is afraid of this. So in the beginning it can be a lot like, am I doing it right? Or but because we do this for around 40 to 50 minutes, people will drop into the place of no mind. And this is really what it does. It is the thoughts that can go like have a momentum. It's like a wheel, and sometimes we break it, but it still has a little bit of a momentum. And just after 40 minutes of breathing like this, it's just like a stake in the wheel, like, and it just stops. And there is also, for the people that do it on the recurring basis, they can hold the breath at the end of those 40 minutes on the out breath, and hold it as long as possible. Now, I find it sometimes difficult to share upfront when people say, what might I experience? Well, tingling sensations, maybe cramp or release of things. The beautiful thing is, because of that no mind, we want to interpret it. It's not important. It's the cells that start vibrating. It is the emotional charge. We will never lose the memory of an experience, but it is the emotional charge that comes with it. It's been stored in our cells. This is what's been released. So the story is not important. And
Mm.
this is why this is so beautiful. And then at the end of those 40 minutes, this is where the sound healing part comes in with most of the instruments. And yeah, this is that place where people fall into that silence, and it can be a very mystical experience too, especially on holding the breath, because science is still trying to catch up with it. But we know for sure the people that have journeyed with entheogenics that contain DMT, this is for sure a DMT experience, which gives that wholesome experience that you truly feel connected with yourself and with all living beings. And
Mm.
yeah, that's
We
that's
release
so
it in
that's
our lung, release DMT in our lungs and from our pineal, right? And we
yeah,
also, when we're in that stillness, when we get rid of the mind and we're in the stillness of the heart center, we're also moving into progenesis at that point too, with our cellular level, right? Which is why
yeah,
even just the way you're describing this, I can feel the energy and the space that it's creating. And then when you add the sound, it's like now you've like cleared out the vessel for the sound healing to do exactly what it's supposed to do, right? And
yeah.
like, wow, how wonderful.
Yeah.
I could just feel it all as you were explaining it. So cool.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. That
vibrational tuning, like tuning your body through breath work. And it's just like, that's why I feel like when I'm listening to you guys, like, wow, it's just like basically tuning your body with intention to a certain breath does this and this certain breath does that, because we organically do it anyway. If we're running fast or we're scared or we're tired or we want to relax, we do monitor it with our breath. We just we're not mindful of it as much as we should be, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like mindfully tuning your body. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, I love it.
Yeah, I do want to mention, if anybody on the call has a question for Amy or Stephan, please just raise your hand, and we'll be opening QA in just a moment. Though Amy and Stephan are going to be at the next retreat in October, October 15th to 17th, and they're going to be performing. Is it performing? You're performing a workshop. You're leading you're leading another gratitude breath ceremony, correct? Right? That's what we say it. And there's also another really cool activation that you're going to be leading, and we are opening up the Quantum Kids activation at the next
Kids activation.
activation. And Amy and Stephan are also going to be leading some really wonderful things for the youth of the world. And would you like to describe any of those services that those workshops that you're going to do for the retreat in October?
So I have a school over here, and it is Montessori and Reggio inspired. And we also do a lot of children also practice breath work, Kundalini Yoga, and meditation here as well. It's really magical. So what we want to like to offer is for the children, at the retreat, to actually to immerse in this what we call breath, that is actually gifted to us, that they know they're breathing, but they don't know the magic yet behind it. So we'll like to take them into a journey, a mini journey, through play and some creative expression and dance and music, to go and experience that breath within them, and hopefully to also to get them to have some fun with us with some Kundalini Yoga, some Kriyas. They all love it because it's really challenging for them. So the more challenging, the more they want to say, I can do it. So it's actually fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And through the children to give it back to the parents and the other people, because that's definitely what happened, because the homeschool is here in the gratitude sanctuary. They brought back the playfulness for me, for sure. So this is also what we got back from the kids. And see, the kids are the ones that are going to bring this medicine to the next generation and the next one. So this is really the most amazing portal to be able to work with kids.
Yeah.
And this is what the gratitude sanctuary here is. It's a community place, and we would love for everyone that's interested to come and stop by. It can be for the breath work. It can be just to do music jamming around the fire. But we have Amy's mom in the house here. Her dad lives next door. We have the chickens, a dog and a piglet, and Amy's daughter, and then the school children. So this is a community by itself, and it's like a hub for people to stop by. Most of the time, people find us, they're going through a certain type of awakening experience, and they cannot exactly feel what's going on. They feel like they're losing their minds, and then there is just this oasis. It's like a mini, mini spectrum where people can come and just experience different healing modalities, so they have a takeaway from what they can experience. And we take people on journeys, like 8-week transformational journeys with workshops. We facilitate medicine ceremony, also for families. That's great. So it's from, like, sometimes we have a family, like the whole family with the kids, they come, and that is amazing. So ceremony is what we mostly do. I think that's good to mention. That is what we work with most. And to touch briefly upon it, what ceremony means for us, because it's mentioned a lot. People do all type of ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
What it really does for us is it puts big life in a small container where we really have the opportunity to observe the dynamics. And a lot of times within that container, it's actually being amplified. So it's, and then there's also opportunity most of the time to zoom out and to actually see how you go about in daily life. And that makes it a lot easier to see.
Mm-hmm.
And there is many different medicine that can enhance the experience, like cacao, for example. So we work with different healing modalities, but ceremony is our way to go. That is what is just within, when a ceremony is opened, it's really a portal for transformation that's being opened. And I joke a lot. I say, Amy, these people are going in the blender, like it won't be the same. And it also comes with that sincerity. So from there on, things start happening, and it's always for the best of everyone involved. So yeah.
Right. How beautifully said, Stephan. And I've never heard somebody describe a ceremony in that way. And that's really cool to think of it in that way, because that's really, it's so true, man. It resonates so well. And we yeah, the breath, the in and the inhale and the exhale of life, even more so than just, even in the moment. But there's an inhale and exhale to the whole, the seasons and the growth and the expansion and contraction of the full moon and into the new moon. And
Yep.
do you find yourself holding these ceremonies at certain times astrologically and in the seasons, especially? Is there certain ceremonies that you have to do every year?
It's a good question. We have an approach that during full moon the veil is really thin, and it's a powerful moment to work with, but it's also a very tricky moment. Like, just to look at the shadow side of it a little bit, we know that the people that are not aware, there is more violence and more suicides during full moon. This is because it is the water is being pulled. It creates that extreme, for me it can create extreme thinking. So usually we don't work during the full moon. New moon will be a good, a good time to work with, new intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it is, yeah, we have our ways of working. We have our ways of working with it, but it's also very intuitively, And what is very interesting, what we have experienced, that during ceremony, when we go through the medicine wheel, for example, we have had weather change. That was really interesting. So when we had breath ceremony with a big group, when we go in the east where the sun rises, it was like the sun like breaking through the clouds. It got like scorching, or it got like the sun break through. Then when it was in the south, then it was in the highest point in the sky, and it got really hot. And this had nothing to do with the time of the day, but the weather really moved with the medicine wheel. So this is
Cool.
very fascinating to see what can happen. It is truly, as the portal is opened, and this is what is very important also. So we open the ceremony, but we also always close it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot, life is a ceremony, but when you create such a powerful portal with so many intentions, and also a group intention, it's also good to close it again, and from there on integrate it, because it's not something to be underestimated. It's a really powerful ceremony.
Absolutely. That's why we need people like yourselves to lead us and hold that space for us as we go through, like you said, the very sometimes unexpected changes in your body or your mental state, and so thank you to you both so much for what you bring, and that healing that you bring for people, and that support you bring for people. It's such an honor to have you at the retreat and doing your magic and spreading your love to all the community. And such an honor to have you on the Mindshare tonight.
Thank you.
And
Yes, thank you guys so much. Holding
Thank
space for everybody.
Thank you
It's
so
a
much.
lifestyle for these guys. These guys are for real, and I appreciate that. It takes a lot, and I see that you guys energize each other and keep each other, you know, boosted and keep your cups full, you know, because it you know put a lot of energy out. So I appreciate that as
Yeah.
well.
It's
And things like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions now, you could pop in any. I don't know if I saw any hands pop up, Jess, or not, but
so you guys pop
if
up and
if you have any extras, that's fine. If not, we can sign off and see you guys soon. We have a couple offerings, I think, on the website, Jess, that we offered.
yes. There's a free download right now for a beautiful prayer, and that you can go find right now in the offerings. And then you guys are also offering a gratitude breath ceremony to the Tuesday ceremony. So you're welcome to join them in Vista, a discounted price here, and then also a plant medicine walk that would be held in a group setting. And so that's also available as an offering. And of course, there's so many more things that you two do and offer to people. So please, find them through our website at Spectrum Healers, find them through the Gratitude Sanctuary, and definitely come join us at the retreat for the immersive experience. All the love, and thank you everyone for your intention and your intention today.
Well, so
And
I think we have Luna. Luna has a question if you want to bring her
Great.
on.
Luna has a question. Should we allow her to talk? We should open up.
He is the one that greeted us when we entered the festival. That was the first person that we ran into, and she was our portal right into the festival. That was
What a great
amazing.
portal.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hey.
Luna. You're on. There you go.
There you go.
Hello, family. I heard you what you said, Stephan. I'll never forget when I saw you both pulling in your vehicle. I was like, it's about to get real. It is about to get really powerful. But wow, I was like super engaged just the whole time, just really, really feeling into just your offerings and what you both just share. And I'm in so much gratitude because it's just so needed and it's so important. So I'm really, really in gratitude for you both and feel really called to work with you as well. I feel that you have a lot to teach me personally. And so what I wanted to ask you is, what advice would you give to someone when I'm in breath work? I feel so much resistance like coming up in the form of physical ailment. So that moment where I'm like, oh, my back is hurting and man, I feel like I'm just going to lose my breath right now. And I'm watching my mind and my ego hold on. And I'm like, if I could just get past this one bit of discomfort, I have a feeling on the other side of that is going to be so much bliss. And so how would you help someone move through the intensity of the brain trying to hold on?
Yeah. Well, I think we both have our take on that. So one of the things that we already briefly mentioned during the call that's why we would love to enter the breath with Sananga, because when there is pain, I mean, I don't know about you, every now and then I forgot to be fully embodied and I hit my little toe somewhere like under the door or something. There is no way I'm thinking of anything. So this is definitely something like the Sananga just pulls you right into the body. Now, when during the breathing it comes up, it is mantra can really help. So we redirect the energy. So what's being used a lot in the Kundalini Yoga practice is Sat Nam, which means the true practice. So it can be like Sat Nam, like that. You can also practice this during the breathing. But what I really love as a mantra is the courage and the compassion. So it is one hand on the heart and one on the belly, and it's like courage, compassion. And a lot of times it is, I don't know about you, maybe you would have to, oh yeah, another thing is when, for example, when you experience back pain during the breath work, what can really help, what I like to do myself is to have my knees up a little bit. So I actually put like a high pillow. So how do you call the muscle again? The psoas muscle, basically, that goes all along, gets more chance to relax. Um, and then also, if you do it by yourself, you practice it on a daily basis, or how do you practice? Or you mean it comes up during a ceremony? When does it occur?
It comes up. I don't do it on a daily basis, probably because of I'm just like, oh, this hurts, you know, and I'll find a way to kind of maneuver around it. So only when I'm in workshops, and the last time I did it was with you both at the retreat. So it's not very often. I'd like to do it more. I've done Wim Hof breathing, and that's the most I've done, which is only about like a 10-minute sequence. But when I go beyond that amount of time, it starts to get really intense.
I think that you well, I have a feeling, but that's not that can be very suggestive, is that you are also be hard on yourself and judging yourself for the fact that the mind is still going, which is adds another layer to the quote unquote suffering almost. So for you, it might not be even to just like, but for you, it could just like be very gentle with yourself, actually. If that makes any sense, to breathe more gentle. Yeah.
Makes
To not
100% sense. I feel like my guides are talking through you right now. It's like, okay, I hear you, universe.
yeah, you know it, but we need that reflection, right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for that?
So this is actually one of the common observations of the mind. Okay, we know that our body is the most intelligent vessel, pretty much in this realm of matter. Okay, so it gives you signals when you are giving it medicine, and that resistance is just asking you to trust and really to go ahead and say that part of the body hurts, which we actually didn't know because it may have a traumatic experience, a memory that you it's from the subconscious, and only the breath can really arouse it, the memory to come alive. And here comes Luna think that it's pain, it's just pain, and the mind say, stop pain, stop pain. And are you afraid of us? Actually, the mind is actually afraid to let the breath to take it away, and not the mind is afraid to, am I going to come back ever?
Right. Yes.
It is a mind trick. So you just have to trick the mind into it and tell your mind and say, I'll be back. Let me go ahead and take a look at this body part that I am actually feeling it really intensely right now. I need to take care of it. So just say, mind, I'm okay. Don't be afraid. I'll be back. So just breathe through that part that is in pain and let the breath heal you. It is magic. It is.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. I really received that. And both of you spoke to different parts of me, like of my soul, my body, and my mind. So thank you. And I just can't wait to work with you both. I will absolutely be at the Gratitude Sanctuary soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the healing that you offered also. That was a great experience to get embodied and to shake it all out. That was an amazing experience. So
Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait. I'll be coming with more too. So I can't wait to see you both there and keep diving in and raising the vibration of the planet.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks, Luna.
Thank you so much, Luna, for your question, and to your presence. We're gonna sign off tonight, and we're gonna do it with every heart and every mind. And we're here to heal every heart and every mind. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the
May I
love.
share? May I share the prayer? Is that okay
Oh,
to end it?
please! Thank you so much for reminding me. Stephan is gonna close us with a prayer.
Yeah. So, and this is where my mind kicks in. It says, "Will I remember? Will I remember?" Right? It's always when I forget a part, it's the part that speaks most to me. That's the part I have to remember. So,
Yes.
yeah, I invite you to breathe deep and to focus on the body, to fill yourself with the most loving awareness from your toes all the way to your crown. And as you breathe, you can listen to this prayer and feel how it resonates with you. So one that we have to remember is that life is the ceremony. 2, we are alive. That means that we observe and integrate our lessons. Everything we do and say is in the name of love. I am love. 4, I trust my inner wisdom, and my body is a wise counselor. 5, I take good care of my body, that is this vessel, and the body that we live on, Pachamama. 6, in this reality, I have more with the people in common than that we differ from each other. 7, everything I do and say has consequences. 8, keep it fun. Dance, play, laugh, love, make love. 9, focus, prayer, awareness, anchor. 10, by being the best version of myself, I am the best for everything and everyone. 11, gratitude is the gateway, the portal, and the key. 12, las plantas sagradas, the plants are sacred. All life is sacred. But for the people that work with the plant medicine, it's a good reminder for myself, talking to myself. 13, embodiment. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
Stephan.
I love you.
Oh, we love you so much. Thank you. Thank you both for all that you do and all that you are.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Stephan.
Thank you so
We'll be
much.
giving you guys big hugs soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are good huggers, by the way.
Oh, we gotta do a screen hug again.
I don't
Group
get to
Screen
screen.
hug, everybody. Screen
High five.
hug.
Ah.
This is so great. Thank you so much, Becky and Jason.
All right, sending you all the love. Have a great night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you so much. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back
Thank
next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock and Wednesday. Tickets are for sale for the retreat. We'll see you guys there, hopefully. Thanks, guys.
you.